Hi guys, my name is Gladys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I talk about faith, I talk about relationship, I talk about lifestyle and everything good. So today I'm going to be talking about feminism. My sister asked me earlier this week, she's like, Gladys, would you consider yourself a feminist? Now, I think the problem that men have with feminism, the problem that some men have, I wrote this down, so if you see me going down to look, I'm just checking on my phone because I wrote it down on my phone so that I don't forget my point. The problem that men have over women, especially when it comes to feminism, is the fact that women uses equality as an excuse to be disrespectful to their husband. Many women think because, like, I'm equal to a man or I should have my rights, they use that as an excuse to be very disrespectful to their husband or even to their father or whatever man figure that they have in their life. And because of that, men think that that is a problem. And that's why sometimes typically you don't see men, whenever a woman identifies as a feminist, you see some people look at you weird. I don't think that there's any problem with being a feminist at all. I just think that the term feminism has been taken way out of context. So the second problem that I think a man have, so all these things I'm saying are, obviously based on my personal opinion and also based on the fact that this is something that I've seen and I've heard and I've noticed. I think the second thing that men hate when it comes to feminism and women equality is the fact that many women uses that as an excuse not to submit to their man. Now, I'm not saying obey their man because there is a difference between obedience and submission. And when you look around, you see that a lot of people are more into obeying than submitting. They are not submitting to their man, they are more like obeying their man. They're obeying their husband or their partner. When you have conversation with a man, you can see that many men, the problem that they have with feminism is the fact that many people use feminism as an excuse to disrespect their husband. Many women use feminism as an excuse not to submit to their man. Now, I'm not saying obey their husband, but I'm saying submission, because submission and obedience is two different things. There are many people who are obeying their husband and they think that they are submitting to their husband. Submission, when I was actually looking through this and I was, because I feel like God has been downloading some things to me. So the Holy Spirit brought to me that submission comes from a place of honor and consideration, while obedience comes from a place of fear and consequences. So when you submit to someone, it's because you honor them and you're considerate of the part or the role they play in your life. You're considering all the things that they are to you. You submit to them, which is also the reason why I like the term submitting to God, because when you submit to God, it's something that you do out of the willingness of your heart. So when you submit to your husband, it's something you do out of the willingness of your heart. You know that, okay, I can do this myself, but out of the honor and the consideration that I have for my husband, for my home, for my family, for marriage, I'm submitting to him as Christ commanded me to do. So obedience comes from a place of fear and consequences, because when you don't obey, you get you get some kind of consequences, right? So some women that obey their husband as opposed to submitting to their husband. So that's why you see them lying about how much money they have. You see them lying about their kids. You see them lying about their whereabouts, because they are afraid of what you will do when you find out. So many people use feminism as an excuse to not submit to their husband. Many people use feminism as an excuse to emasculate their husbands. So they use feminism as an excuse to, maybe speak to the man anyhow or behave anyhow while they're in the institution of marriage. So which is why a lot of men find that term feminism, and they always try not to be close to anybody who they think is a feminist. But the problem that women have with men is the fact that many men uses submission as an excuse to oppress their women, like to be like a god over their wives, and to let like the woman can't even speak her mind, she cannot pursue her career or her calling, she cannot do the things that she wants to do in her life because she's supposed to be submitting to you. And many people don't give their partner that space to be creative and to be great. And one of the problems, that another thing that women have with men, is the fact that sometimes a lot of men are very insecure. So because they're insecure, they cannot handle a strong woman, or a woman who know who they are, or what they are, or what they want out of life. When they see a woman who is confident and know what she wants, they always think, okay, this one is prideful, she's going to be disrespectful in her home. So, but you're saying all these things not because you've seen her do those things, but because you think she knows who she is, because you think she knows who she is, because she's confident, because like she knows what she wants, and because like she's very articulated. Some men are threatened by that. I personally have had people tell me, not one person, I've had people tell me, Gladys, don't pursue any more career or be any more successful because people will be threatened by you, guys will be threatened by you, and they wouldn't want to come up to you. And I'm thinking to my mind, the fact that I am being successful on my own should make a guy be proud to even want to know me, right? Because it shows him that I know who I am, I know what I want, I'm going after what I want, with or without a man. But many men, they don't see that as a woman being confident. They see it as a woman being prideful. They see it as a woman being disrespectful. And when they see a woman who is successful in every aspect of her life, they are very threatened with that. So that's one of the problems that women have with men. Another problem that women have with men is the fact that they cannot be married and be allowed to be themselves. Like, it's almost like when you get married or when you are in a relationship, you have to dim yourself, just be less of who you are in order for the relationship to work. Which is why many women like this women equality, because they feel like I'm being held up to a certain standard and men are not being held up to that standard. I know, like, many times when a family fails, when a marriage fails, they always ask a woman, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? But no one is asking the man, why didn't you do this? Why your home, your home functioning, your home progressing is in the hand of the woman, instead of, why can't it be in the hand of both? That blame is on, as opposed to both of them, because women feel that by taking that responsibility from a man, you're putting all that pressure on the woman. And it's almost like you're expecting so much of a woman that you're not putting that much responsibility on a man. Another thing that makes feminism to be frowned on is that many men want to be God in the life of their wives or in the life of their significant other. You cannot be God in the life of someone. That means you want to detect what they do, how far they can go, or like how good they can be in certain areas of their life that are important to them. So because of that, there are a lot of girls that you see these days, they'll be like, I'd rather be alone, I would rather be single than get married to someone who wouldn't want me to be everything that I want to aim to be. And those things come from perhaps watching their mother, watching their family, watching their father, seeing the dynamics of their family, and they see how things are, and they know that, okay, this doesn't look right, and I don't want to have something like this in my life, or I don't want to have a marriage like this. So because of that, they're making all these changes to make sure that they don't repeat patterns in their lives. Another reason, very importantly, another reason why it looks like some women step up is because the men that are supposed to do the things that they ought to do, they don't do it. And because they don't do it, women tend to step up and fill in that gap. And by filling in that gap, it's almost like they are emasculating the man, while as that is not their intention. They just want to, do it since no one else is doing it. They have to do it, and it has to be done. Personally, Do I identify myself as a feminist? No, I wouldn't consider myself a feminist because I just don't like the term feminist. But however, I do believe, and I think and I agree with the Bible that man is the head of the family, is the head of the household. So that doesn't mean that the man should oppress his wife. The man should not, like, let the wife be great or be everything that she wants to be. But it just means that you as a woman, you should recognize that this man that you've chosen to be your husband is now someone who is important to you. You can't just make a decision without factoring him in mind, and you can't make a decision without both of you being in agreement of that decision. And likewise for men, it's not just like a woman is required to, bring everything to your notice. You are also required to bring everything to the notice of your wife. You can't make a decision alone. You can't say, oh, I'm the head of the house, so because of that, what I say is what is the rule in this house. No, you have to also consider your wife. What does she have to say about this? And you listen to her, because when a woman feel like that she's not being listened to, she's just gonna do her own thing. She will end up obeying you, but in her mind she's doing her own thing. So you want to have a godly home. You want to have a godly identity that you're passing on to your children. You want to raise up a godly children, and those things start by the way you treat each other as a man and a woman. I think feminism and Christianity can exist, but then again, I think it depends on individuals and their interpretation of what feminism is. I don't think I'm a feminist. I would not identify myself as a feminist, and I do think that a woman should submit to a man. And I also think that a man should submit to a woman and be respectful of their wife and everything that Christ has called us to build as a family and as a Christian. So I want to know what you think. Do you think that a feminist can be a Christian? Or do you think that as a Christian you can be a feminist? If so, why? And what are some of the things that what are some of the reasons why men frown at the term feminist? And what are some of the reasons why women want to be feminist? Let me know what you think of this video. I look forward to reading from everyone. Don't forget to like this. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to share. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Feminism is the advocacy of women equality. Feminism is the advocacy of women equality politically, socially, economically. So anyone who is a feminist is seeking that women be treated as equal as a man. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 and 28, the Bible mentioned God created a man and a woman in his own image, and he commissioned both of them to be fruitful and multiply and subdue the earth and take dominion. So he didn't commission just a man to be fruitful. He didn't commission just a man to take dominion. Neither did he just commission just a woman to be fruitful or take dominion. He told them both to do it together. And feminism and Christianity, can they coexist? I think the answer is dependent on the individual, and this is why I say so. When you look throughout the Bible, you see that Jesus Christ advocated for women. I don't think there was anywhere. If there is, I probably haven't found it, and please bring it to my attention because I want to know. I don't think there's anywhere where Jesus Christ made women feel like they are second-class citizens, both to the kingdom of God or to the society. And there was no anywhere where Jesus Christ made it feel like a woman's place, a woman's identity is found in a man, or a man should be better than a woman. He made it very clear, and he mentioned how women funded his ministry. He mentioned how you can see how when he resurrected, he first revealed himself to a woman.